The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's an alright game. Some might say it's good. Right now, as of June 9, 2026, this game is on its way to reach its 28th year anniversary. In that time, the game has been regarded as one of, if not the greatest video game of all time. I used to be on that same boat. I always loved the game, and I still do. I was still considering one of my favorites of all time. But just like everything ever, that opinion has changed over time. Some say the game is overrated or straight up not good, and they are straight up lying. However, it's not like I can't see where they're coming from. Usually when people ask for their favorite Zelda game, no one ever mentions fantastic games like Link's Adventure or Wand of Gamelon. I can't even say that with a straight face. Despite everything, Ocarina of Time still remains one of my favorite video games of all time. And this isn't nostalgia or bias is talking. Games like Sonic and the Secret Rings, my first ever Sonic game. It sucks. It's horrible. It's one of the worst Sonic games I have ever played. Hell, this wasn't even my first Zelda game. It was the original on the NES. Yeah, no wonder I didn't get into this franchise until my teenage years. I've mentioned this before, but I officially became a fan of the series in 2016 when I played this game on my Nintendo 2DS. 10 years ago. Jesus, where has the time gone? So, to celebrate the milestone of me becoming a fan of the series, I decided to talk about the game that started it all for me. As we wait for the remake, how about we talk about the legendary game that is Ocarina of Time? But before we go there, a history lesson. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time started development in 1994. The game was in the works for over 3 years. Sometimes the staff overworked itself past midnight. That cannot be healthy. The game was originally going to be a first-person adventure project, meant to highlight the 3D environment. It later on changed to a third-person game where you can see Link. The game had 5 main directors working on this game, making it one of the video games with the most lead directors ever, only being surpassed by Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. And considering the latter, yeah, I can see it. Sometimes I wonder how different Majora's Mask would have been if that game had this team and its time development. In a perfect world, Tingle would have been the main character. But back to the less important game, let's talk about The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. There's gonna be spoilers if you never played a video game ever. Our story starts with a dream sequence. A horse runs off with this girl looking at us with a concerned face. The boy looks behind him to find the main villain of our story about to attack him. But like I said, it's all a dream. Or a premonition? We'll see about that. In the meantime, the Great Deku Tree calls forth Navi. He senses that a great evil is upon us and sends Navi to get the boy without a fairy, Link. Just like in Mario 64 where Lakitu shows his flying skills, Navi does the same. Ah, the Kakiri Forest. Such a fun and whimsical place. A place where we get to run around and play with our friends. In here, we get introduced to Link's best friend, Saria. They don't show much of their bond, but the little we see, it's adorable. We go looking for a sword and a shield to see the Great Deku Tree. It's not like the place is filled with anything dangerous. What's a Deku Baba gonna do to me? Come on. The Great Deku Tree tells Link that he must go inside of him to eliminate a deadly curse placed by this Ganondorf. That's where we get our first dungeon of the game, the Great Deku Tree. I like it. It's not really hard. Okay, it's incredibly easy, but I like it. It teaches you the mechanics of the game and prepares you for the challenges ahead. The boss fight is... It's a Goma! This is well, it's a boss fight. Hit it with a Deku Nut, then kill it off with your sword. Once defeated, we get its heart and get out of the tree. We did it! We saved the Deku Tree! Yippee! Wait. No. We didn't. By the time we freed the great Deku Tree of his curse, it was already too late. Before we leave to our next destination, the great Deku Tree informs us how the three goddesses, Din, Naruto, Din, Nehru, and Faror, created the world and in turn left behind the sacred relic. The essence of that relic being courage, power, wisdom. That relic called the Triforce. Ganondorf cursed the Great Deku Tree after he refused to give him the Kokiri Emerald. The Great Deku Tree sends Link to Hyrule Castle so he can meet up with Princess Zelda and stop Ganondorf from acquiring it and destroy the world. And with that, the Great Deku Tree says his farewells and dies. Link walks out of the forest not before Saria gives us her ocarina, a memento of our friendship, the most precious thing in our journey. I'm sure we won't throw this away if we get another one. Goodbye, Saria. Look at this place! It's huge! In concept, yeah, the world of Hyrule may be huge for 1998, but nowadays, with games like Tears of the Kingdom or Red Dead Redemption 2 out, it's rather small. Doesn't help that there isn't much to do in Hyrule in and of itself. In my Majora's Mask video, I mentioned that the land of Termina, despite being smaller than this and other 3D titles, the world felt more alive, thanks to the plethora of side quests and minigames. And while in Ocarina of Time there's quite a number of side quests, I don't find them anywhere near as interesting as Majora's Mask. Thankfully, the main quest is one of the strongest in the series. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there isn't anything to do in this game. We can go to a ranch and form a bond with a horse, which definitely isn't important for later on. What I do like about all of this is the feeling of adventure. We're having fun, we run and jump, it's filled with a lot of childlike whimsy. It helps that the music is also really fun. Yeah, we may fight some skeletons in the night, but aside from that debacle, it's all fun and games. But back to the important stuff. Link reaches the town of Hyrule, a nice place where everybody is dancing and living their lives. In here, we meet a little girl named Marlon, which isn't important at all. Link heads toward Hyrule Castle to reach the Princess of Hyrule, Zelda. We get caught and get sent back to the entrance. Marlon, the girl from earlier, gives us a rooster to wake her father up. Mario? What are you doing here? This isn't the Mario Marathon. Get out of here. Like I was saying, Link enters the garden of Hyrule Castle and play Metal Gear Solid as we try to hide from the guards. Zelda tells us that Ganondorf is evil and that we need to defeat him before it's too late. She mentions the different locations we'll have to go through, those being Death Mountain and Sora's Domain. We also get taught Zelda's lullaby. Before we go to Death Mountain though, we must go back to the Kokiri Forest and learn Saria's song. While we go through the Lost Woods, we also meet a kid who asks us to play Saria's song. I wonder if he'll be important. We head back to Death Mountain and meet up with the Goron chief, Darunia. The guy is depressed because the Dodongo Cavern has been blocked by some monsters, preventing him and his people from getting their primary food source, rocks. Really? There's rocks all over the place. What makes those rocks special? Whatever. I want to say that the Dodongo Cavern is a fine temple. It's not that interesting, and it doesn't help that the boss fight against King Dodongo is kind of lame. Kind of the worst boss fight in the entire game, really, for now. After we defeat King Dodongo and help our now brothers, as Darunia said, we get the second spiritual stone. And with that, we head towards Sora's Domain. In Sora's Domain, it's revealed that the princess of the domain has been kidnapped. And no, she wasn't kidnapped by anyone evil or anything. She was swallowed by a giant fish monster. Okay. The third temple, Jabu Jabu's Belly, we rescue the princess of Sora's domain, Rudo. She's a little annoying, and by little I mean very. We carry her like she's a vegetable from Mario Bros. 2 USA and fight Baronade. This temple and boss fight is pretty fun. The best temple in the early parts of the game, honestly. Like, come on! We got a boomerang! I can't wait to use this for the rest of the game and kick ass with it! Princess Rudo hands us the third and final spiritual stone. And also, she traps Link into marriage with her. Epic! So far, the game has been fun. Sure, we have killed a couple big monsters and done stuff no kid should ever do. But who cares? It was fun. Such a shame this game is gonna be a short one. So, how about we go do some stuff before then? Like, collect some gold Scotulas. What are these? Basically, there are a couple of spider-like creatures we had to defeat and collect the medals they drop. The more we collect, the more curses we break and gain stuff. It's fine enough content, I suppose. Upgrading the capacity of your items to the max is also pretty fun. Eventually, we head towards Hyrule Castle, and this feels oddly familiar. We see Zelda riding on a horse with Impa. She threw something at us. Why is this setting so familiar? Link turns around and Ganondorf stares down at us like the helpless child we are. Yeah, we may have defeated monsters and all that, but compared to this guy, we're not shit. Yeah, luckily, Ganondorf chasing Zelda will give us enough time to enter the Temple of Time and use the stones. We take the ocarina that Zelda threw at us. Oh, hell yeah! Sorry's ocarina's a piece of shit compared to this one. Once we enter the Temple of Time, we play the Song of Time, a song we learned thanks to a vision from Zelda. We put the stones in their place, but wait, there's no Triforce here. It's mentioned in this very temple that there's a sword powerful enough to defeat all evil. The blade of evil's bane. The Master Sword. Perhaps this will be enough to defeat that Ganondorf guy. Well, no time like the present. Let's get it. However, 7 years have passed. Link is now a young adult. The sword sealed Link away from the rest of the world. The sword kept him asleep for long enough until he was ready to face off against Ganondorf. But there was no one to fight Ganondorf in the past. Meaning that... oh god, that could only mean... oh no. No. Dear God, no. What the hell happened here? We lost? No, it can't be. We got the stones. We got the Master Sword. How could everything go so wrong despite looking so right? This journey, I was a fool for taking it for granted. I didn't know how serious it was. We have failed to stop Ganondorf. It's my fault. It's all my fault. These are the consequences for believing myself to be untouchable. If only I could take it back. But I can't. I must keep moving forward, for there is nothing for me to go back to. We leave Hyrule Town, afraid of how the world could look now that Ganondorf took over. And... Wait, what? Bruh, the place looks fine! On the surface, yeah, the fields may still be green and shining, but that doesn't mean that Hyrule isn't suffering. For example, Kokiri Forest. Back when we were a child, this used to be a peaceful place where we could hang out with our friends. Sure, they were monsters, but they weren't really that dangerous. Now, this place is infested by every and all monsters. There's nowhere the Kokiri people could go. They just stay inside their houses, hoping for the monsters to go away. which will prove to be futile because they're just waiting for a peaceful yet inevitable death. What I wouldn't do to have my childhood home back. Well, there is something we can do. We as Link go through the Lost Woods and find the Forest Temple. We enter it using our hook shot. Oh, wait, hook shot. My bad. Before Link goes back to his childhood home, he visits Kakariko Village. It's the only place in the game that truly feels like home at first. The remaining survivors of Hyrule Town move to this place and hopefully continue their lives. It's a small ray of hope in this dark and cruel world. Like I was saying, Link goes to the graveyard and finds a removable tombstone. We then enter the hall and race Dampé. Once we beat him in that race, we get the hook shot. We also learn the Song of Storms in this place, but more on that later. Back to Kokiri Forest though, Link enters the Forest Temple, the official transition from a small boy to the young man he is now. Gameplay wise, it's so much fun. Honestly, one of my favorite temples in the game. The atmosphere, music, and puzzles are really fun. We get the best weapon in the game too, the bow and arrow. Oh, how I love this weapon. In this temple, we must find a way to defeat the Pose Sisters. Making them appear is pretty fun, and defeating them is just as fun. Once we do that, Link goes down an elevator and fights against Phantom Ganon. This is a pretty alright boss. I like how you have to be aware of your surroundings the entire time to shoot the Phantom just in time. The second phase has us playing tennis though. That's kinda pathetic. Imagine if it came back. Once Link defeats Phantom Ganon, he has this vision again, and awakens the Sage of the Forest, Saria. Oh yeah, what do I mean by sages? When Link awakens for the first time in 7 years, Rauru tells Link to search for the different temples and free the sages. So now you know, we can only do so much in this world alone. Except, we're not truly alone. Because the Great Deku Tree revives! Yay, look at him, he's so adorable! Okay, let's talk about Sheik. A mysterious fellow who guides Link through the whole adventure. Aside from Navi, he's the closest thing to a friend we get in this game. His theme conveys the feeling of reuniting with an old friend. It makes me feel all good inside for some reason. Sheik, like I mentioned, helps us through the whole game. Every time we reach our next destination, that being the different temples, he's always there to teach us a song so we can teleport to the entrance of said temples. He also taught us the song Prelude of Light. That way, we don't have to walk all the way back to the Temple of Time. And thank Hylia for that. Before I keep going, I gotta talk about the soundtrack, man. It's one of my favorites in the entire series. From the melancholic piano in the title screen to Hyrule Fields. From the racing theme to the temples. From Lost Woods to the damn credits. It's all so good. Koji Kondo is a damn genius. I doubt Ocarina of Time would be the same without such an iconic soundtrack. Back to our journey though. Doing all this walking has gotta be exhausting. If only we had a faster way to transform from one place to the next. If only there was a ranch nearby where we can get a horse or something. I don't know. Oh neat! We revisit the ranch for the first time in 7 years. I'd imagine this place was gonna be kept nice. Ganondorf just can't help but love animals. What a nice guy! Oh wait, Link plays the song Malin taught him all those years ago to reunite with this little horsey, Epona. We make a bet with Talon's brother, who took over the ranch and is kind of a weirdo, and we freed Epona. Aw, heck yeah! Now this is first class!
I love my Hoshi and my Hoshi love me.
With Epona, the journey should rather be a much faster and much more comfortable one. We ride to Death Mountain, and there's no one here. It is revealed that the Gorons have been imprisoned by Ganondorf. He also revived the hellish dragon Volvagia. Sorry if that's not how you spell it. With the Gorons captured, Ganondorf threatened to feed them to Volvagia as a warning to anyone who dares to oppose him. Before Link can enter the Fire Temple, he first must get the Goron tunic, or else he will burn alive. Fuck! With the baby Goron we blow up, Link gets said tunic and heads out to the Fire Temple. The Fire Temple is a good one. It doesn't have the same atmosphere as the Forest Temple or the clever puzzles like Set Temple, but it's still fun. I like saving all Gorons one by one. Yeah, all 5 of them. I know I might be going for a darker tone here, but I'm sorry. There's no way there were only 5 Gorons who were captured. Most of them had to be eaten. The weapon we get in this temple is a hammer. An alright weapon. While it's not as good as the bow and arrow, I do find some amusement with it, like when you fight Volvagia. You basically play whack-a-mole with it. It's pretty fun. With the dragon defeated, Link awakens Darunia. He expresses gratitude towards Link and cements their bonds as true brothers in arms. Once Link saves all 6 to 7 Gorons, we travel to Sora's domain. For some reason, snow is falling in this area. Whatever is happening, it probably can't be good. We play Zelda's Lullaby to enter the domain, and here we are, Sora's domain. The place has been frozen by Ganondorf. The once beautiful domain filled with sexy fish people has been reduced to an empty place where no one could really belong to. We find King Zora frozen in place as another reminder of our failures. For all we know, everybody, including our non-wife Princess Ruto, could be dead. However, we can go outside the domain and enter a frozen cave to find the blue flame. With said flame, we manage to save King Sora and head off to... the Water Temple. Do I even need to comment on it? Exactly, I don't. But I'm gonna do it anyway! I will say the Water Temple is good in the 3DS version of the game. And there's a reason for that. Because in the original N64 version, let me tell ya! Do you like pausing the game every 3 seconds to equip, then unequip the stupid boots? Do you like this sorry excuse of a map? No? Then too fucking bad! You're stuck with it. But let's be fair here, the 3DS version fixes those mistakes by having a good map, putting the boots on a button, and overall, just being less of a hassle. Is it still annoying? I mean, yeah, having the water be at a specific level can be kind of frustrated if you do it wrong, but aside from that, it's not all bad. The atmosphere is awesome though, the architecture is so well made, and the music gives me that wonderful PTSD attack. While the temple hits quite the number of things out of the park, it kinda fumbled in the boss fights. And yes, I said fights, plural. There's 2 boss fights in this temple. One is against Dark Link. Link fights what is essentially his inner demon. Being Link's shadow, he mirrors his attacks. When Link defeats him, it feels like he embraced himself and can finally rest as he surpassed his own limitations. While the fight may be more psychological than anything, physically, this fight is kinda cheeks. I get that you have to get creative with it, but I don't know. It would have worked better as a traditional fight against yourself where you have to time some dodges well, rather than swing your sword and hope for the best. And Morpha? Yeah, no, Morpha just straight up sucks. At least with Dark Link, I can appreciate the atmosphere and the symbolism, but with Morpha? No, it's so bad. Just reel it in with your hook shot, which gets upgraded when you defeat Dark Link, so thank you game. Once you do that, you swing your sword at it and defeat it. This boss fight is the worst in the game. It felt like it did the bare minimum. Absolutely trash. At least once we defeat it, Link awakens Princess Ruto as the Sage of Water. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the Water Temple, she's visible to Link. Whether she's alive or dead is up to debate, and I'm not really up to that discussion. What we do know is that she awakened as the Sage of Water and hands us the medallion and says her farewells. Thank you for everything, Ruto. You were a great friend. But thank God I did not marry you. After that, Link heads towards Kakariko Village. The place is burning down for some strange reason. And Sheik is here as well. Well, don't mind if I do. Let's go talk to him. The well explodes, and whatever it is that's in there goes crazy on Sheik and throws him away. It also attacks Link. I know what I must do now. Link goes back to the Temple of Time and go back 7 years into the past so that he can enter the well. I guess you could say it's a link to the past. But before he can enter the well, he teaches the phonogram man the Song of Storms. Link heads to the future to learn the Song of Storms from the same guy, just to go back in time to teach him the Song of Storms, creating a paradox where no matter what, the guy will always know the Song of Storms, meaning that this song doesn't have an actual origin. Anyways, Link heads down to the well, an optional mini dungeon where its main purpose is to find the item of this place. This place is served to be an omen for what the next temple is gonna be about. Despite the place being creepy as hell, it's not so bad. Like, sure it gets dark and all, but at least there's nothing that what the hell? Is this a torture chamber? Is that blood? But I thought the past was supposed to be the place where everything was going right. All this time, I was living in hell and I never even knew? What if everything I used to believe was a lie? Maybe there never was a pretty world. Maybe the world was always cruel and wicked. How am I supposed to go back to how I used to be when evil was always part of this world? Ganondorf, the Sheikah, maybe it's all the same. All I need to do is fight this mini dungeon's boss and get this dungeon's item. That's odd. I don't see any. What the fuck is that? Yeah, no, I don't have a childhood anymore. Never had, never will. Guess I'll just live my traumatized and depressed life in the Lost Woods. Thank you, game. And just like that, we must return to hell on earth once more and head towards the graveyard in Kakariko Village and go through the Shadow Temple. If the bottom of the well was an omen of what the future held, then the Shadow Temple is the culmination of what was being built up. Aesthetically, it's the most messed up palace, and the lore surrounding it is just as messed up. This place is served as a testament to the bloody history of the royal family and the Sheikah, how this was used to torture and execute enemies of the royal family. Multiple skeletons of the victims, guillotine, blood, all covered up, and to this day, never brought up by anyone, making this kind of a dark yet tragic reality that even to this day, it happens. At least the item we get is kind of nice. I like the hover boots, kind of. For some reason, Link is kind of slippery, but aside from that, it's an alright item. How do we get it? By defeating another dead hand? Get away from me! I will say the boss fight is pretty fun. With the Lens of Truth, the giant monster who plays the drums is revealed. Although I will say, I'm kind of underwhelmed. We've been fighting man-made horrors beyond our comprehension, and then we get a giant one-eyed freak who plays the bongo drums. What's it called? Bongo Bongo. How the hell am I supposed to take this thing serious? What a way to break tension, Nintendo. Anyways, he's easily defeated and awakened the Sage of Shadows, Impa. She commends Link for everything he's done so far, and that he is on his way to becoming a true hero. Thank you, Impa. Such a shame you never acknowledged the Sheikah's past. Wander under the bridge, I guess. Whether Impa should have addressed the sins of the past is a topic in and of itself. Would I want it? Yes, absolutely. Do I wish some acknowledgement of the royal family and its horrible past? Yeah, sure. However, this is in the past. There's no point in bringing it up for now when the future is looking much, much bleaker than the past. And just like that, we'll keep moving forward and head towards Gerudo Valley. Musically and aesthetically, a really neat place. However, the way the Gerudo women are stereotypically portrayed has definitely aged, to say the least, and not in a good way. Let's just say that if the remake does it differently, I would not complain one bit. However, what makes this place really fun is that you get to play Metal Gear Solid again and try to save some people. Again, super fun. Now, usually, I do not like desert areas in video games. I think they are boring both in visuals and gameplay. However, in Ocarina of Time, it's really fun. I like trying to find my way through the desert by using the lens of truth, and the Spirit Temple is undoubtedly my favorite temple, not only in the game, but in my top 3 favorite temples in the entire series. Sadly, we won't be able to progress much into it. Link goes back to the Temple of Time, and this time actually gets to progress the temple. Nabooru, the Gerudo inside the temple, lets us explore it, and if we get them, she'll give us something great. Okay. Eventually, we find the gauntlets that Nabooru told us to find. Sadly, she's sucked into a quicksand caused by 2 witches. Well, I'll be damned. Link later returns as an adult and explores the temple, even obtaining the mirror shield. Aw, hell yeah, this is my shit! We get to reflect the sunlight like, well, a mirror, and face off against the mini-boss, a giant night guy thing. It's not really hard, but it is pretty fun to dodge. Eventually we defeat it, and it's revealed to be Nabooru! Brainwashed by the 2 witches, she fought against us. But now that she's finally free, both of us can fight against the 2 sisters and kick their ass. Well, damn! Girl got burned to a crisp! Eventually, Link fights the 2 sisters and kicks their ass. However, they then perform a fusion and transform into... Oh, mama! Is it hot in here or what?
Damn it, why do I gotta go to horny jail?
Such a shame I have to kill him. The boss fight is so fun. Getting to reflect their elemental attacks to damage them is so satisfying. And the way the 2 sisters pass on to the other side is pretty funny. However, there's no way they would go to heaven. They 100% should be in hell. Unless heaven is hell to them? Details. We've awakened the final sage. Nabooru tells Link that if she knew he would turn out to be as handsome as he is now, then she would have kept her promise. Yeah, suddenly I don't feel bad about her dying. Red flags all around. I didn't even talk about why Spirit Temple is so cool. I absolutely adore how this temple combines the best of 2 worlds. Traversing the temple as both a kid and an adult is such a cool concept that I'm glad it was used to its fullest potential. And the boss fight at the end is quite possibly the best boss in the game. Like I mentioned, using your shield to shoot back at the gorgeous Twin Rova is super cool. Once we awaken the 6 sages, we return to the Temple of Time and get ready to restore the world. And in a twist of fate, it's revealed that Sheik was Zelda all this time! Everybody knows about the twist nowadays. But back then, I can only imagine how cool this shit was for first time players. And if you got spoiled, then skill issue honestly. It would be like if you get spoiled on Aerith's death. That's embarrassing. Zelda tells Link that he holds the Triforce of Courage, which would explain how despite all the adversity that Link goes through, despite all the suffering and trauma he goes through, he keeps his head up and moves forward. Undoubtedly, what makes him a true hero. Ganondorf holds the Triforce of Power, which is why that makes him such a powerful yet scary opponent. And Zelda holds the Triforce of Wisdom, which is how she was able to hide from Ganondorf for 7 years. But, Zelda, honey, you two are making a little too much noise, and Ganondorf is right there, and the last thing we need is Ganondorf to kidnap— oh well, there we go, okay. Every sage does their part to take down the barriers, and slowly but surely getting closer to Ganondorf. An organ plays as you slowly climb up some stairs. Not gonna lie, Ganondorf can play that organ really well. I should take it to Sunday's church. But yeah, it's now or never, freakers. Ganondorf is going down. He floats in place as he looks down at us like a bug. We grip our sword and begin the final fight. And we play Phantom Tennis. Ow! Seriously? That's it? Well, once we do defeat him, the castle begins to rumble. Link and Zelda join as one to escape the collapsing castle. They dodge falling debris, fight all remaining monsters, and eventually escape. We did it! We saved Hyrule. That was kind of anticlimactic, but at least we did... What was that sound? There's no way. He couldn't have. Ganondorf, in a desperate moment, uses the Triforce of Power and transforms into the Demon King, Ganon. Now this is a final battle. The music, the visuals, the atmosphere, and to think this certain battle could cause two separate timelines. One where Link is defeated by Ganon, and the imprisoning war happens, and creates a dark world. Hence games like the original Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, etc. It truly is now or never, freakers. This fight is almost everything I could ask for a final battle. It's climactic, ambient, dramatic, epic. I don't even care if the fight itself is easy as hell. It's still a great fight. We get some poignant blows, enough to weaken Ganondorf. Zelda petrifies him with her magic. We get the Master Sword and deliver the finishing blows to defeat Ganon. Take that, you bitch! Zelda holds herself accountable. Despite her mistakes, despite not being able to save the world the first time, with melancholy in her heart, she accepts her mistakes, and with an act of kindness, she sends Link back to his original timeline to have the childhood he got stolen from. Despite her best intentions, this one simple moment of kindness is the action that splits the timeline into two, technically three. One where Link goes back to his time, leaving the future without a hero, and with no Link, there's also no spirit of the hero. When Ganondorf awakens once more, the gods are forced to flood Hyrule, and the events of Wind Waker taking place. Despite her best intentions, the kingdom was doomed once again. And despite being back to your timeline, you could never truly go back. Not really. You know too much. We get the credits. Everybody in the future celebrates now that Ganon is gone. The people of Hyrule ready to start a whole new age. And the sages watch everybody celebrating. Absolutely gorgeous. Link puts the Master Sword back on its rightful place. Navi ascends and leaves without saying a single word to Link, ending both of their journeys right then and there, basically setting the pace for Majora's Mask. The last shot is of the Master Sword as the powerful bells toll. The final scene of the game, Link warns Princess Zelda and everybody else about the future betrayal of Ganondorf, confirming her fears. And as we know, he then gets executed, but never truly gone, setting up the events of Twilight Princess for the next couple of centuries, until a new hero rises again. And that is the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Despite everything I said, despite going into detail what makes the game so special, I still feel like I've only scratched the surface when it comes to my love for this game. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is such a special game, showing that life isn't just about the adventure, but about taking responsibility for your actions, the memories you can create with friends or enemies, the importance of nostalgia, and the loss of innocence. Ocarina of Time is my second favorite Zelda game ever, and another one of my favorite video games of all time. A truly special game, one that I am eternally grateful that it was my first. Okay, not really my first, but you know what I mean. A fantastic piece of media. It gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Nearly 30 years later, and it's still a masterpiece to this day. But yeah, I'm Shong Tehong, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Sayonara. Hey, wait a minute! I just remembered you can hook yourself on that statue's nipples!